for a hybrid kicking off. Unclear if it'll be a 4-2-3-1 or potentially a 4-4-2 with advanced players. We'll find out soon enough. So BridgeSports will get us underway. And we're underway here tonight at River Hill. Just early attempt to send it long, and the header backwards a little bit awkward, but well claimed. Throw out, and Hybrid FC could look to get the ball rolling a bit on home pitch. The ball forward is an intriguing one, but that'll be claimed before Rua could get onto it. And now it's BridgeSports' turn. Just see what they can do here. Spread to the far side on the back, looking more like a back three in possession, as wingback will advance to the long ball spread across. Alhaji Lete now into the middle, and Abdul Nuku draws the foul. So, the brief word of protest, but nothing too much doing here. BridgeSports will have a free kick and decent positioning. Just about 40 yards out, spread out wide to the far side. This is an opportunity to try to get to the byline 1v1. Successfully done. The cut back, and that'll be just cleared by Johnson. Out of play for a throw. So an early promising position right there for BridgeSports. Well defended by Hybrid in the end. So sent back off the throw-in. BridgeSports playing still fairly high up the pitch. The long ball over the top. Anunku gave chase, but he was offsides. And if you're just joining us, we welcome you in as BridgeSports FC facing off against Hybrid FC here at River Hill High School in Columbia in UPSL play. Hybrid FC in green, the home side. BridgeSports FC, the away side, in black with the red and white stripes. That'll be bit of an awkward attempt to send the ball forward, and ultimately the ball from Lete looked clever, but didn't quite work out for him. Hybrid FC able to recover. We're in the early stages here, and our quick turnover. This is now good positioning. BridgeSports, Anunku offsides again. Nunez had found him in a pocket of space, but he was just offsides. That was an early statement of intent there for BridgeSports. A turnover in a very dangerous position on the field. Of course, stats show us that the more you can turn the ball over high up the pitch, the more chances you'll get. And now for Hybrid. They'll be looking to just clear their lines a little bit after withstanding some early pressure. Long ball. Header won by BridgeSports. And now loose, the clearance. We've got a foul call. So now it's Hybrid FC with the ball in a decent position. Vialta to take. Vialta's delivery, a good one, but just nobody quite there. Ball still loose, and Nunez tried to clear it, but couldn't quite. And now we've got another foul call. Referee's calling a tight game here early on. And BridgeSports will get a free kick of their own to try and relieve the pressure. So now the visitors will try to play out of the back, spread to the far side. And chance for them to just work spell possession. So far they've had the majority of possession, but no extensive build-up so far. This will be spread out. Lete moving forward, cuts inside, and now the layoff. And that was a bit of a loose touch, but Orlesi able to get it off, and the ball out to the flank. The fight of it looked good, and it stayed in until eventually it'll drift out. So Enganto played a clever ball, but just not quite able to get it to his man. And now a chance for Hybrid to just try leave some pressure. Still early minutes in this one, now in the 5th minute. 0-0. So Hybrid thrown on the far side. The header. Nunez flicks it on. And now clever ball over the top. Lete is offsides. BridgeSports not too happy about that call, but in the end, just a tight space, tricky one to keep in check there. So Crow now to take the goal kick here for Hybrid. It's a nice little bit of move there, getting into space, but it quickly turned over. And Hybrid eventually able to force the turnover back, but unable to play out quite as quickly as they might have liked. Ogra, his ball forward. Ogra receives it back, and his pass forward again. Zanab knocked out of bounds, and that'll be a throw-in. So Ogra, the header, just too much on it, out of play. And so BridgeSports will get us back underway. Throw in. Estrada. Back to the keeper, Sonera. Estrada again. Estrada's ball. That day, just too short for him. Stab, looking quickly. And now he'll leave that. Ogra to take. Ogra's throw forward. Tie up for it, eventually Joa lost out. Lete's ball forward and just couldn't quite connect with Nunez. So thrown for BridgeSports. Orlesi. Orlesi's throw. And good work there for a second, but now Lete's able to win it back. BridgeSports eventually able to clear their lines, but only so far as about midfield before BridgeSports reclaims. Attempted a clever ball. And now loose again and recovered by BridgeSports. And this is a good one. Acres of space now for Lete to run into if he can get there. Ball is running away quickly though, and he's just not quite got the pace to keep up with it. It's a good idea, but didn't quite work out. Hybrid playing a fairly high line here early on. Hasn't bid them yet, although there has been space in behind for this BridgeSports team to run onto. Ogra to take the throw. Header won by Lete, and that's going to be a whiff right there. Simmons for Ogra rescues it. Nunez to take the throw. Now Orlesi will call him off it. Orlesi's throw to Nunez. Znab gets there. Znab under pressure. Eventually we'll just have to concede another throw-in. So BridgeSports able to keep their territorial advantage. No clear-cut chances in the game, but BridgeSports have had the run of play so far. Orlesi goes longer this time. Bit of good hold-up play, and now eventually a chance to potentially clear. Znab gets the ball down the line. Loose again, and Orlesi will recover the loose ball. Pass goes back. And BridgeSports again looking long. Again, there's space, but this time it'll be out of play. The high line leaving a ton of space behind, but BridgeSports just not quite able to exploit it yet. Ogra. And Lete will win the loose ball off the throw. Now a slight misstep there for a second. That'll be spread to the far side. And now another ball. Nunez, is he offsides? He is. Went early again. Offsides perhaps the theme of this game so far for these attacks for BridgeSports. Simmons. Simmons' ball goes long. Sonera will just be able to claim. And now his punt. And now it's a foot race. Really good speed and a really good takedown there. And the shot was dangerous, but just off the crossbar of the field goal post. Well, really rugby post in this stadium. But it was a really good look there for Anunku, who had a good acceleration, got on the ball, and that was the best chance of the game so far by a country mile. So BridgeSports with a shot across the bow. We're in the 10th minute now. And Hybrid will play on the back. Simmons looking for options. Now Lette able to cut out his pass. Lette's ball spread wide. And another clever ball over the top, but that is just going to be yet another offsides. This time it was Ivan Hughes giving chase. Cafe Butler playing the ball. So yet another throw in for Hybrid. Vialta, actually, not a throw in, it'll be because of the offside's a free kick there. Quick, since I got out of play. But now, time for Hybrid. Nice turn in midfield. Eventually, Simmons gets the ball stuck under his feet though. But a good through ball at the end before the control, just way too loose. And BridgeSports able to recover. Orlesi. Now Butler. Butler sends it back. Estrada. Butler again. Butler. Sonera. Sonera will take his time on the ball. Still has a highlight to potentially exploit if he wants to, and he does want to. This is towards Nunez. It might have too much speed. And actually, it won't matter because Nunez is offsides again. So Hybrid taking their time getting the ball back into play. Simmons to take. He'll send this long. Looked like Sonera might try to come claim, but in the end Estrada cleared it. He'll get the ball back. Pressure not really coming, so just send it back to Sonera. And now press no longer on really for Hybrid. Sonera to Butler. Butler. That'll be deflected out of play. No, it stayed in. Sonera. Bounce, the way it was bouncing for a second, looked like it was going to go off to the side, but actually went straight back. Estrada. Orlesi. His ball forward. Lette. A little bit of space. And now he'll pick out the switch to Butler. Butler, and that's well closed down. Ball got to play for a throw, but it was a good bit of defensive pressure right there. Nisi putting it on. Butler receives the throw-in. Back to Sonera. A little bit more slow build-up now. BridgeSports taking their time. Sonera picks out the diagonal. Znab cuts it out, and that'll go out of play for another throw-in. Throw-in. Lette. Loses possession. Johnson. Has a good move, and eventually the foul will be called there. Abraha drew it. A free kick here in a decent position for Hybrid. Haven't had any major chances yet. Good opportunity here to put a ball into the box. Vialta to take. Vialta's delivery is a good one. Flicked on, and that's just going out of play. That'll be a throw-in for BridgeSports. So, now in the 14th minute, score remains 0-0. BridgeSports possession dominant. More of the games have been played in their half in the last few minutes. I've had the game's only real chance so far. It's been a bit slow burn. Estrada. Butler. His ball forward. Anunku tried to dummy it, but in the end that's intercepted, and now a chance for Hybrid here. Ball into the box is a good one, and that's good claim by Sonera. He was under pressure, but just the pass was not quite there. And Joe not quite able to get on it. If he had gone on it, he would have had quite the chance. Now on the far side, Butler. His ball, Intercepted by Abraha. Abraha passes it back. And this will be sent all the way back to the goalkeeper, Crow. Crow to Simmons. Simmons into the middle. Johnson. Johnson plays for UDC. Ogra looking for options, and he's dispossessed. Lete, but Ogra will win it back. Now his ball forward. And Joa and took some contact. That's deflected out for a throw-in. Ogra to take. And Joa. And now got to play for a throw-in. So a decent spell of play there for Hybrid, but just not quite able to get the chance they wanted out of it. Estrada. Sonera. Now Butler. Back to Sonera. Estrada. His ball. And now Znab. And Joa. Tight space. Gets it back to Znab. Znab. And tried an idea which just wasn't there. Ball gets out of play for a goal kick. Highland is now serving its purposes without being able to pick out the long balls. BridgeSports having issues getting out of their own end and creating chances. They are dominating possession, but not quite able to break down this Hybrid defense. Now Butler will go for another long ball. Reyes giving chase. Simmons will just have to punt it out. And BridgeSports able to get out of their own end. So the throw in now. Good turn there. And the delivery was a decent idea, but in the end, Narmook just not able to get it away from the keeper. Crow claimed fairly easily. Crow punts long. Estrada gets there. And now Ogra. Under pressure from Lete, but Ogra is able to win that duel and send it forward. And the pass towards Znab just cut out. So throw in now for Ogra. Ogra towards Rua. In a duel with Lete. Znab. And that's going to play off of Orlesi. So throw in for Hybrid. They're growing into the game here. Znab's throw. Abatha. And eventually, ball will come out. A Nunku, but that's poked away from by Simmons. Eventually he comes back to BridgeSports. Butler tried to send that long towards a Nunku, but cut out. Johnson under duress. Johnson's able to retain possession though, but eventually be kicked away from him and out of play, but that came off of BridgeSports. Hybrid throw-in. Abraha loses possession. Johnson able to recover the loose ball. Simmons. Simmons goes diagonal. There's space there for Znab. His touch is good. Znab. A little bit of space. Tried the pass. Deflected back to him. Still loose, and he's drawn the free kick. And that seemed like a bit of a needless foul because it looked like BridgeSports had the advantage there. So a free kick in very good position here. That'll be about 25 yards out from goal. So it'll be Abraha to take. Or maybe Znab. The two in conversation. So Znab will take. Nope, Abraha. His delivery, and that's on target, but in the end, a fairly straightforward claim for Sonera. And now Sonera will try to go long. Anunku versus Vialta. Vialta gets an important header, and that'll go out of play. Throw in, though, for BridgeSports. So both sides now with a chance on target. I guess BridgeSports not on target, but it's dangerous. And didn't miss by much. It's been a game short on chances, but high on interest. Reyes And now just Estrada looking for options. Butler. And it's interesting, the press from the front three there, doing a good job. Rua forcing back Sanera. And now Sanera will pick out the long ball. And if it's onside, that would have been dangerous, but just in the end, Hughes not able to bring it down. Hughes is now switch sides. And hybrid strategy so far is going to be just to compress the pitch, play a high line, press somewhat, but not super aggressively from the front. And really, it's only looked like it's been long balls and turnovers which have helped BridgeSports. And that's good work there by Narmouk. Narmouk, his ball. Oh, it's a speculative effort towards goal, but that's going to go out of play. Narmouk saw a chance that he wanted to take, and he didn't miss the net by much, but not able to truly threaten Crow. Simmons, his ball forward. That's dangerous. That'll be intercepted. Narmouk, Nunez, Hughes. Znab coming behind to help, but Hughes with a good run there. Gets a little bit of space, taking on Ogra and Znab. Able to cut back inside, tries to go through, and eventually Ogra will win that. Johnson, his ball intercepted by Orlesi. Narmouk. And now that'll be claimed by Rua, but his pass back didn't get claimed, and now Anuku, his shot, oh, and he's just dragged it wide. Looks like there was a deflection from Crow, and that was a critical save. Anuku had a golden opportunity, but Crow did really well, got out, cut down the angle, got big, and got just enough on that to deflect it out of play for a corner. The game's best chance by far. It was just a bizarre play, too. The back pass looked okay, but nobody actually corralled it for hybrid. Now Nunez to take the corner. His delivery low. And Ogra clears. Znab tried to get there, but Orlesi won that race. Nunez gets the ball back. Nunez. His pass. Narmouk in a pocket of space finds Nunez with a 1-2. Nunez. Well defended. Oh, and that deflected close to Vialta's hand. That would have been close to his body. And now Johnson dispossessed. Reyes. And Vialta takes no chances and sends that to safety. Throw in for BridgeSports. But the biggest chance of the game so far, just a couple minutes ago, and now you get the feeling that we're getting closer to that opening goal. Sanera. The line's still very high, and Sanera will take his chances going long. Foot race. Lete didn't get there. And that's a dangerous tackle. Hughes got the loose ball. His shot. Oh, and it was a last-hit tackle by Ogra. It had to be perfect. And it looks like there might be a foul call here. That would be inside the box, so it would have to be a penalty. Referee's reached for his pocket, but hasn't pointed to the spot, interestingly. And it looks like the penalty is being awarded. Ogra's tackle from up here looked decent, but the referee had a much better vantage point. So he'll have seen the contact, and it'll be a Nunku to take with a golden opportunity to give BridgeSports the lead. So Anunku. Crow's already made one big save off of him. Can he make a second? Anunku, the stutter step, the run up, and he puts it away. Crow frozen. Anunku slots home, and it's 1-0. BridgeSports takes the lead. 24th minute, and the visitors open the scoring. It's been a game with few chances, although the two biggest ones so far have been BridgeSports chances in the last couple minutes, and now they've got their lead. Ogra's tackle wasn't necessarily ill-advised, and probably necessary to stop. Would have been a very dangerous chance, but in the end, it leads to the penalty, and BridgeSports able to convert. Vialta. Abraha. Vialta. Simmons. Simmons striding forward, looking for options, and his pass just overhit and out of play. Throw in for BridgeSports. So now the question becomes, how does Hybrid respond to the goal? Does BridgeSports try to press home their advantage quickly? Butler. Braha wins the header, and that'll go back out of play. Another throw-in for Butler. Headed up. Tussle for the ball. Looks like it might break for Rua. Now it has broken for Anjoa. Heavy challenge, but BridgeSports got the ball before that's nicely cut out there. Yoma Ogra. That'll be deflected out of play by Reyes. Throw in for Hybrid. So Ogra, who's been good today, although he did concede the penalty, the chance to put in the throw in here. Znab. Nobody put in enough contact for the foul, and eventually turned it over. And now Narmouk, that's going to be potentially dangerous ball because Lette's got pace to burn. The foot race, though, going to be won by his opposing number, the defender. And now that will eventually just be sent out to safety. Sala, the PG Community College defender, putting it out there. So important work by Sala there to get to that one before Lette. Sala's throw. Nisi, Sala, Rua. Body off the ball there. And that'll go out of play. Throw in towards the Nunku, flicks it on. Narmouk tried to bring that under his spell, but couldn't. Clearance. Znab might get there first, and in the end, it'll actually be Orlesi. Rua's header. Second ball eventually won by BridgeSports, but there's a foul in the play. Rua rubbing his head for a second. So Simmons restarts, but not from the right position, so the referee will ask that that be retaken. And we'll try to restart it again, but again the referee whistles for it to be retaken. Simmons not the happiest camper about this. Vialta's delivery, the diagonal, cut out by Butler, but he'll just hoik it out of play. Throw in for Hybrid, and the ball's gone over the fencing on the far side, so we'll get another ball from this near sideline. Ogra tried to hit the diagonal to the far side, but didn't get quite there accurately, so a little bit more time before the throw-in. 28th minute here in Columbia. Rua, and not able to keep it in play. Throw-in. Again, the referee not happy with the spot. Referee's calling a very tight game today. So now the throw-in from Butler. Anunku wins it, but sends it back out of play. Hybrid with the throw-in now. Solid to take. Nisi. That's going to be won by Lette, but eventually Sala recovers. Now Lette in a tussle with him again. And Lette won the ball fairly. A heavy challenge, but the referee was on the spot and saw it. Anunku on the far side against Nisi. Nisi's won it back. Vialta, his ball. Now Abrajo, the nice move inside. Nisi. And this is more like it here from Hybrid. And Joa able to keep the ball in. Squares up the defender. His cross is low. Abraha, oh, and he was offsides. The control wasn't quite right either. Deflected off, looked like maybe it was the back of his foot. But if that had been in his stride, it would have been very dangerous had he been onside. Unfortunately for Hybrid, he just wasn't. But that was a good spell of play there for the home side. Now Hughes. Reyes. Enganto. Or Orlesi. Now Hughes, good ball. This is a great spell of play here. And Anuku's got pace to burn. Already with one goal in the Danny Motors into the box. Anuku, his shot. Saved again by Crow, and another good one. One-on-one again. Anuku had pace to burn and got the ball for the end of a great spell of play there from BridgeSports. But at the end of the day, just not quite able to put it home. He's gone low a couple times, and Crow has been equal to the task both. It's a really good spell of possession there, though, for BridgeSports. So Narmouk to take. Narmook, his delivery low. Ogra sends it out. Znab giving chase, or Alessio will just marshal out of play. So BridgeSports again. Estrada goes diagonal. Lete. And a one-on-one with Sala. Lete takes on Sala. His delivery deflected out for... Oh, no. Looks like it wasn't deflected, actually. Referee had a better view than I did and rules it a goal kick. So Crow will get us back underway here. Sends it long. And that'll be won initially by Butler, then by Abraha. His ball towards Nab is a good one, but good tracking back right there. And Gantho turns to give himself a little bit of space, and now he'll send it off to Hughes. Hughes, looking for options, shrugs off Abraha. Now in a one-on-one with Ogra. Hughes has kept it in, and he's got a little bit of space, so he'll be able to get the ball, but just loses it out of play. Ogra's throwing. Abraha stumbling. And Gantho. Now Nunez. Johnson wins the ball, but he's lost it, and now here comes Hughes. Dispossessed as well, and the long ball. Won by Estrada, but Abraha will win the second ball and send it forward towards Rua. Rua had space on the far side, and it's offsides. Game getting a little bit more helter-skelter here. Lete's ball early towards Nunez. Looked like he was onside. Oh, and his control just let him down right there. Still in the chase for the ball, but Ogre will win it. Johnson turns to get out of trouble. Now turns again to get out of trouble, and good work by Johnson to emerge his pass off by Abraha. And we've got a call for a foul, and unclear why that was called there, because advantage did look to be on. Simmons not too happy with the referee again. Call from advantage ref from the stands, and I have to agree that the advantage probably was more profitable for Hybrid. Always frustrating as a player when the referee calls an advantage and you feel like you're in a good position. Simmons takes it short to Abraha, gets the ball back. Under pressure. Ogra. Narmook seems to have been caught by Simmons at the follow through of the pass. And now Johnson, dispossessed. Hughes, it'll go off Johnson and out of play. Narmook has stood up behind the play. 33rd minute here. 1-0 for BridgeSports if you're just joining us off a penalty. Anunku the goal scorer. Or Alessi to take the throw in here. And touch just loose from Anunku. Eventually Johnson will emerge with the ball. Sala. And his pass, a touch low. Vialta. Now spreads it wide. Nisi taking on the defender, and eventually Butler will just send that out of play over the bleachers. Oh no, that will land on the bleachers. Okay, didn't quite get out. Still a lot of height on that one. We'll need a new ball. Referee goes for the throw this time. A decent throw, that too. Very decent throw. So throw in now for Hybrid on the far side. Sala. Abraha. Sala, that's deflected. Ooh, and Sala appears to have been caught on the knee. Foul signaled immediately from the linesman. And another BridgeSports player is down two. Two guys got caught in the same play. Unclear who's the one who's closer to me. Looks like it's Abraha. Actually, no, it's going to be Johnson, his partner in central midfield. Thought I saw one on the back of his jersey, but it's actually just the side of a 6. So, free kick. Thankfully, neither player seems to be too worse for wear. Dangerous position here. Vialta to take. Oh, we had a yellow card shown now for Reyes. Vialta. His delivery is a good one. The header looked like it was Orlesi who got it. Now Ogra. And his delivery is a good one as well. And a good punch by Sonera. Still out there though, and now Lete will get on it. As we've seen before, Lete has pace to burn. Lete gets away from Simmons. His ball through is a dangerous one, and Anuku's gotten on the other side of it. It's taking him a little bit too wide. Lete's still with him. His pass towards Lete, and it's just too much on it. Out of play, but that was a very dangerous break there for BridgeSports. And so it'll eventually end up being a goal kick for Hybrid, but not before a bit of a heart and mouth moment there for Hybrid fans. Crows take Abraha. Sala under pressure. Gets out of it. His ball forward. This is that's a nice little flick on there. Rua. Oh, and he couldn't quite get around Estrada's tackle. It was a really good one to prevent that attack. Would have been very dangerous if Estrada hadn't won the ball, but he did. And his critical intervention will ultimately start passage of play, which ends with Crow claiming again. Crow. Simmons. Simmons' pass goes long and just out of play. Head of Znab. 37th minute. The sun is very, very bright and visible now on the other side of the field. You can't see it, but it gives a cool light. And so the throw in for Orlesi. He'll take Ogra. Abraha. Ball goes out of play. BridgeSports throw in. Hughes to take. Uses throw in. Anunku will get on the end of that one. His header, but couldn't quite get there. Simmons sends that only as far as Orlesi. Now Hughes. Hughes cuts inside. Still Hughes. Oh, and he's dispossessed by Abraha. Just got a little bit too tricky there. Znab. Abraha now. He's got some space. Has runners. If he'd be able to find the pass, he did have a very good option there, but just lost the ball. Tries to win it back, and BridgeSports now with possession again. Reyes calms the game down a bit. Wide to Butler. Butler. That'll be sent back there by Enganto. Estrada. Pressure coming from Anjoa. And good play by Sonera right there. Sonera's been good today. Estrada. Back to Sonera. Sonera. Goes long. Hughes is ahead of the defense, it looks like. And he was onside. Timed his run well. Now facing Ogra. Hughes nutmegs Ogra, and he's into the box. Ogra's tackle's a good one, though. Recovered well. And it'll be a corner for BridgeSports. Actually, looks like that went out on the wrong side of the flags. Just a throw. Indeed, it will be just a throw. Narmouk gets to the byline. Try to get around the defender, but eventually Simmons cleans up. Simmons, his ball nearly intercepted, and Anjoa just couldn't quite bring it under his spell. Estrada, Butler. Butler's ball out wide. Lete. Lete cuts inside against Nisi. And now Reyes' ball, Narmouk. Narmouk tried to get it back to him, but couldn't quite. Eventually it ends up with Lete. Lete, it's intercepted. And now here comes Rua, his flick on. The header back to him, just slightly behind, but Nisi will claim. There might be a break on here. BridgeSports not getting back quite as quickly as you might have expected. And now Anjoa with a chance. It's another good tackle by Estrada, though he caught Anjoa, but he'd already won the ball. Estrada now with a couple of absolutely critical tackles that would have stopped very dangerous hybrid attacks. But Anuku on the other end, 2-2 at the back. Nunez now offsides. If he'd released him a little bit earlier, he would have been in acres of space. Now Narmouk. Hughes, his first touch let him down, but now he's got some space. Has options as well. Hughes cuts inside. His flick behind towards Reyes, but Ogra with another key tackle. Hughes will recover. Hughes trying to get away from Znab. Now tries to go past Ogra, who might be hobbled a little bit, moving a little bit slowly. Hughes Lots of work, but not a lot to show for, as I'll just go out for a throw-in. And still, Anjoa's down behind the play. Not a good sign at all. He was totally caught on the follow-through by Estrada. Estrada's lucky that he'd won the ball by that point because there was clear contact and would have been the foul had he not already won the ball. And really unfortunate there because it was a good-looking attack, too, for Hybrid. Estrada with a couple critical challenges now. And you just hope that Anjoa's okay, but for him to still be down at this point after the play, not a good sign. We're in the 41st minute here in Columbia. 1-0, BridgeSports leading against Hybrid. And thankfully, Anjoa sits up a little bit. Chance for both teams to take some water. And I think so far, both of them will have things they're happy about. Both of them will have things they want to improve. That's every game, but for BridgeSports so far, they'll be pleased with the lead and that they've had some really good chances. Could have had a couple more, but a couple of great saves by Crow denied Anunku. Had some other good passages of play. They'll probably feel like there are a couple times, though, where they're maybe a little bit light at the back on the break, but so far they've controlled the run of play and had more of the chances. They'll also want to be able to create more without the use of the long ball or interceptions. It's been trickier for them in building up and then creating out their own half, although when they've got into Hybrid's half, they've looked creative. For Hybrid, issues have been mainly getting caught by long balls or turnovers. They've kept possession, they've done all right, and ultimately they've done a good job constricting this BridgeSports team in their own half, but when BridgeSports has been able to get onto Hybrid side of the pitch, they've been creative, and it's been trickier for Hybrid to stop them, so they'll want to tighten up a bit defensively. Still very much in this game, though. Haven't really created any big chances of note, but that's largely due to a couple of Estrada tackles. And we'll see who's on for Anjoa, or if he's going to continue himself. No, he's getting checked out for medical attention. And for the moment, Hybrid down with 10 men, presumably hoping that Anjoa can return. Throw in from Hughes. Narmook, Abraha wins that, and he'll send it out of play. So throw again for BridgeSports here. Anjoa about ready to re-enter the play. Butler. Reyes. Sanera. Sanera's ball towards Hughes. We'll see if that's got enough on it. Ooh, Hughes, if he accelerated, might have been able to keep that in, but I think he didn't realize it was slowing. Or, from his vantage point, look like it was too far away. It'll go out for a throw-in. So Ogre jogging over to get the ball to take the throw. Ogre. Throwing towards Znab. Narmook tried to win it but couldn't. Now he does. Narmook. Reyes. Estrada. Butler. Butler. Well pressured. His pass back to Sanera. And Joe looks to be moving okay, thankfully for Hybrid fans. Estrada. Sanera. Sanera goes long, and he's got a good one. Lete appeared to be onside and has gotten the better of Sala for pace, so Sala tracks back well and now defending him tightly. Sala stays on him, but that's a good bit of skill by Lete to get away and into the box. His cross. Anunku, and his turn just wasn't quite what he wanted. Eventually sent out by Simmons, but that's a good step. And Aganto had gotten inside the box, and his shot was a good one, but well blocked. It looked good coming off his boot, though. Now Narmook with another interception. Narmook. His pass off to Reyes. Anunku. Reyes. Nunez wins that ball. Reyes. Try to send it forward, and we've got a foul call back to the spot where Nunez was bundled over. Did not look to be too much in it at the time, but referee decides to bring the play back. And another dangerous opportunity here for BridgeSports to try and put a dangerous ball in. So far it's been Hybrid who've had more of the free kicks, actually. Narmook to take. What's he got in his locker? Narmook's delivery. It's a good one. Hughes, back post, Reyes. Oh, and he might have actually had time to take the touch, but he's offsides. So Crow. His ball out towards Nisi. Nisi nearly dispossessed by Butler, but he recovers. Now he's got a bit of space. Finds Znab. Znab had popped up in the middle, and now Abraha. Abraha does nicely here to get through some space, looking for options. His ball forward. Oh, it just looks like it's a touch over hit, and Sonera will come out to just clear. Yeah, that one hung up dangerously in no man's land, so Sonera forced to just concede the throw. Chance for Hybrid to try to end the half on a high note. We're in stoppage time here, so you don't know how much time is left. Znab. Now one back by BridgeSports. Ngantho. Orlesi. Hughes. Hughes. Back to Orlesi. Estrada. His pass off to Butler. Butler. Spreads it wide. That was deflected, but throw in for BridgeSports. Lete to Butler. Butler's pass back. Sonera. Orlesi. Ngantho. Estrada. Sonera. Sonera. Hughes. And that's just overhit. Out of play. Unclear how much stoppage time we have in this first half. I'd guess a decent chunk given the stoppages, but probably not more than 3 minutes, so we're probably coming up soon on the end of this one. And now that's going to be won again by Ngantho. Znab tracking back. Ngantho's pass off. Estrada, and that'll bring the first half to a close. So BridgeSports takes a 1-0 lead and had chances for more, but a couple of good saves by Crow have kept Hybrid in this game, and it certainly feels like in the run of play they have every chance to come back in this one in the second half. Stay with us for what promises to be an entertaining second half here in Columbia as Hybrid FC takes on BridgeSports FC in UPSL action on DMV Sports Media. So welcome back now as we're returning for the second half here. It's certainly an interesting game between BridgeSports and Hybrid. So far, Hybrid up 1-0, and we'll go back over the lineups for BridgeSports. A lineup of Crow in goal with Simmons, Vialta, Sala, Ogra, the backline, Abraha, Johnson, and Nisi in midfield with Zanab, Rua, and Anjoa up top and out wide. Meanwhile, for BridgeSports, certainly also looking to just maintain their lead. They're going with their lineup of in goal, Sonera, a backline of Butler, Estrada, Orlesi, and then in midfield, Reyes and Gantho, Lete, Narmouk, Hughes, with Nunez as well in midfield alongside them, and Anuku up top. Really functioned more almost like a 3-4-2-1 for BridgeSports. They have a 1-0 lead, and also be remiss if we didn't say thank you to PhysioCare for supporting today's broadcast. Certainly had a good broadcast so far today. Good game. Fun one to watch. We'll be looking for more entertainment here in the second half. As things stand, BridgeSports have been the better side, but despite having many more in terms of the big chances, Hybrid has certainly not been played off the pitch. Done a good job containing BridgeSports at times, and they'll definitely feel if they make a couple tweaks, they're very much in this one. They've had a couple of dangerous chances of their own. Estrada's had a couple of critical interventions, which have stopped what would have been really top-notch chances. And so, for now, the scoreline remains 1-0. Of course, could also be more. Crow made a couple of great saves off of Anuku and one-on-ones. And so, Hybrid emerge. BridgeSports already huddled up. No changes to report here. Actually, now it looks like we've got a couple of changes. So it looks like Anjoa is off. And we'll see who the other player who's been withdrawn is as well. Actually, looks like that would be the only change. So Anjoa's out. We'll see who he's been replaced by here in a minute. He's been replaced by Chirino. Makes sense given that Anjoa was clattered in the first half by Estrada on the follow through of a tackle which stopped a dangerous break. Would have been a foul, except for the fact that the ball had already been won before Estrada clattered Anjoa. And Chirino enters the game and immediately will take the kickoff. So Chirino, Abraha, Vialta's ball a little bit loose. Simmons hits long, and now back to Vialta. He'll go long again towards Nisi. Butler clears. Znab, who's moved more central, will almost just about win that one, and eventually it'll go out towards Ogra. Ogra had a good first half, won several duels, although he was nutmegged and did concede the penalty. Overall, though, positive contributions for this defense. It's a quick early foul. Chirino wins. Oh, no. Appears he was actually offsides. And now the ball is sent long. Lete in a foot race with Sala. Lete's got pace to burn, and Sala had to deal with that. Does well, though. Finds Abraha. Abraha does nicely to turn out of trouble. And his pass, just behind Znab, and was intercepted. Lete. Abraha tracking back. Lete's ball's a good one to Anuku. Anuku's shot, and it's a good save by Crow again. Anuku just took his time with corralling that one, but when he got behind it, it had power. Couldn't quite pick out the corner, though, and Crow did well to make the stop. Anuku's certainly been the danger man in terms of getting those chances for this BridgeSports team, and there he goes again. Already has a goal today, but could have a couple more. It's an early corner here. Visitors looking to add a second. Nunez to take. Goes low. And Rua will get the first touch. Eventually that'll be squirmed out. Loose in front and Gantho, and it was a speculative effort that he just never quite caught in the way he wanted to. It goes wide. And Crow will get us back underway. So Crow to Vialta. Receives it back from Vialta and under pressure finds him again. And now Sala. Sala under pressure though, and Lette's won the ball off of him. Lette's pass goes long towards Sanera. Wind is now really whipping around down here. Sanera goes long and Vialta will win the header, but only so far as Anuku, who's now facing up against him. Anuku, dangerous as always, into the box. Gets a little bit of space. Now forced back. Lette. Ngantho. The ball, oh, it's a clever one, but Lette just offsides. Offsides became less of a feature of the game as the first half wore along, but they were a big part of it early on. We've got another one here early in the second half, 48th minute. A couple subs warming up down below for hybrid. We'll see if they come on, but certainly out there getting their legs stretched. Sunset is really cool off in the west. Can't see it, but creating a nice light. Vialta goes long. Butler. Johnson. Dispossessed there. And Ngantho. Oh, it's a good ball towards Hughes. Hughes has the pace. His touch is good too. Gets it to the box. His shot, and it was well blocked by Ogra. Ogra didn't give him space, but that was a good bit of play there. And now a nice layoff by Rua. Znab does really well to emerge for a couple of challenges. Tries to get back to Rua, and the tackle is an important one, and the deflection carried the ball away. So now Estrada. His ball towards Lette, over Sala's head. Lette's dangerous. Gets inside Sala. Sala's fallen and is holding his knee. Lette's into the box. Lette in front. He's squared it in the shot. Oh, and it's off the crossbar of the rugby goal. Not the soccer goal. But that was a golden opportunity. There might have honestly been time there for Nunez to take a touch. And if he's taken a touch, I don't think he's missing. He's going to want that one back. Just a huge opportunity. It was a really good play there by Lette to get inside Sala, get into the box. The cutback was really good too. Nunez just needed to take his time, and I think he panicked there a little bit. It's so tough when you're a forward in that situation. You know you're in a good position. You trust yourself to get the shot off. You want to get off quickly and not get blocked or waste the opportunity. But sometimes it helps a little bit if you take a touch. Game stays 1-0. BridgeSports threatening though. Crow, really being pressed down away that he was in the first half. Abraha does nicely to get away from one defender and is fouled by Lette. It's been a pretty action-packed start to the second half. Certainly BridgeSports not content with their lead. Hybrid looking to come back into this one. And now Johnson's been turned over, and Anuku with acres of space. What do you think about the shot? No one coming towards him. Now he's got a defender. Oh, and he's going to want that one back. Just send it straight off Vialta's back. Narmouk, his shot, and it's a good one, and that's rattled the crossbar. Still in play, and Sala will get there first. Sala clears, and that'll relieve the danger for now, but Lette quickly wins the ball back. And Rua, Lette spreads it wide towards Hughes. A call of Wake Up Green down on the field. And now the ball, Orlesi, nice flick on by Narmouk. Hughes towards Anuku. Lette couldn't quite get there, it's a little bit too high. Ngantho, moving into the box. He'll get a little bit of space. His cross is a good one at the back post, and it was just too high again. Lette was unmarked. A little bit lower, and that surely would have been a goal. And you just see Ngantho does so well, gets some space. His cross, Lette was right there, just not quite tall enough and couldn't quite get enough of a jump. Oh, man. So a huge opportunity for Anuku. He hits it straight into the defender, kind of a chance he'll want back. Then Narmouk rattles the crossbar with a great shot, and then a couple of great deliveries that just missed targets. So the delivery now from Narmouk off the corner of the header, and that's a really good header, but it just went over. Diving from Estrada, but BridgeSport are asking 20 million questions, and right now they haven't quite found the answer, but they're so close. This has been their best spell of the game for sure. They've opened the second half like they're the ones down 1-0. Crow finds Sala. Oh, drifting long, but Sala will get there. We'll see if he can release. Lette tracked back well. Now Chirino. Clever idea, but in the end cut out by Butler. Znab was pressing, so the clearance slightly rushed, but Ngantho deflected, and now Orlesi will get the ball towards Anunku. Anunku has some space if he can pick out a pass. Lete, well corralled, and Abraha gets out a good leg. Just knocks the ball out of play. Butler, oh, that's a good throw. Really clever. Salah's flicked it on, but that's going to take it only further into the path of Anunku. Anunku facing Vialta. Vialta got the block off against it before, and it's a good tackle by Vialta, but Anunku not quite able to keep it in. It'll go out for a corner, though. That was a critical intervention by Vialta right there. Really nice tackle. So another corner now for BridgeSports, and we've got an injury down behind the play is Lete. We'll see what the situation is here. 53rd minute, and it's been an action-packed second half. Already several big chances here for BridgeSports. They've hit the crossbar, had a couple crosses which narrowly missed, but would have been almost sure goals if they connected. A couple critical interventions by this defense. Vialta with a big block and a big tackle for Hybrid. Lete will stand up. He looks sore, and it looks like they're readying a change. So his day will be done. That's really unfortunate for BridgeSports because he's been so dangerous. So fast. Works really well in attack. Very productive. Maybe the change isn't for him because he's not gone to sit down on the bench, but there is a change being readied. It'll be Johnny Ramos who will be entering the game. And so it will be Lete whose day is done. So Ramos coming on as a winger. Narmouk, his delivery, headed away by Rua. Chirino, oh, nearly got the best of the defender, but the ball just goes out of play. Actually, it looked like it was off him from up here, but in the end, referee says throw in for Hybrid FC. I think he maybe didn't quite have the view he wanted. And it looks like Hybrid's about to make 2 more changes. So we'll see who the subs are. And Vialta, who's had a couple critical interventions, is off, as is Ogra, who played well but conceded the penalty with a last-ditch tackle. The 2 replacements, as Chirino flicks down on, it's won by Butler. The 2 replacements will be Osman. And we'll see who the other one is here in a minute. So it'll be Osman and Cornel. Ball goes out of play on the far side, and that's a throw-in for BridgeSports. And now another change. So this time it'll be Znab coming off. He'll be replaced by Salvador. So Hybrid going to the bench pretty extensively here, looking to change something after what's been a really good start to the second half for BridgeSports. They've been outstanding, just don't have the goal to show for it though. So this game is very much still hanging in the balance. Butler strides forward, and it's a good run from him now. Tripped up by Abraha, and that'll be a foul. So free kick coming here for BridgeSports. Narmouk to take. And now Abraha's gone down. Might be cramp. It appears it is cramp. That's unfortunate. He's worked really hard today, Abraha. Played well, looked dangerous. Here comes the trainer. If you're just joining us, BridgeSports leading 1-0 over Hybrid FC here at River Hill High School in Columbia. BridgeSports have had a really strong start to the second half. Have threatened to get the second goal multiple times, but so far, Hybrid standing strong, very much still in this one. Of course, a reminder, BridgeSports currently in 6th place in the UPSL DMV North Division. 9 points so far through 6 matches. 12 goals scored and 8 against entering today, make that 13-8 now. Meanwhile, for Hybrid, they're in 11th. Just 1 point so far in their inaugural season. Very much still the chance of adding to that today, though. So Narmook will take. Narmook, his delivery is a good one. Curling in front. Oh, and that's offsides, and eventually the header came, but flag was already up. So dangerous, but nothing really doing with that one. And the pass back a bit loose. Now Abraha turned the ball over. Hughes tries to move through, and he's pushed aside. I have to say, I didn't see too much contact there, but that is a free kick in a very dangerous position. What contact there was probably arm extended enough to make that make sense. Certainly an interesting one. And this is a dangerous position, just shy of 30 yards out, about dead center. It's worth noting as we talk about these two teams and their position in the standing. Hybrid, the home side, is traditionally a youth club which identifies and prepares elite young players for professional and college play. It's their first season with the men's program in the USPL. So, certainly a solid team. Impressive for a first season team. They've had a lot to take away positively from tonight. Held strong under pressure. Had their moments. Now Narmook to take the free kick. Already rattled the crossbar once this game. Narmook. The delivery is a good one. It's like, what a goal! Narmook had already had one brilliant shot from distance, and that time, nothing that Crow could do about it. Perfect placement in the upper 90, and it's 2-0 for BridgeSports. They have been brilliant to open up the second half, and they've got their goal they've deserved. So Narmook, you see it right here, his delivery, and that is just perfect, just bending. Maybe if Crow had jumped, he might have had a shot at it, but that would have been a very, very incredible save had he made it. A brilliant free kick from Narmook, and BridgeSports double their lead. And there's another change now for Hybrid as Abraha taken off. The man replacing him, Castillo. So now Cornel, Castillo, Salvador, Castillo, Nisi. Nisi, a nice move there to get around Butler. And Nisi, oh, that's a good tracking back right there. Very effective play, and in the end, just a throw-in. But that was, looked like a quick response there from this Hybrid team. And worth noting that we've now had a substitution for both sides. The second one for, as a nice touch inside right there, but just couldn't quite go. Salvador down in a heap. Apologies, Osman down in a heap, but down at the other end, it's going to be a dangerous break here. Anunku. It's deflected, loose in front, and it's a good tackle. Rua had to get that one right. And now the shot, and that won't go. Good look there, but just couldn't quite get it on target. But it's worth noting that we've had another substitution now as James Johnson has entered the game for BridgeSports. And Nunez will head out now as well. He'll be replaced by Oliver Kongor. So Nunez's day is done. So is Reyes. He's the one who was replaced by Johnson. And now the other Johnson sends the ball forward for Hybrid. Of course, for Hybrid, now trying to come back from down 2-0. And it's a good bit of play there by Narmook. And it's a clever ball forward, but Butler just read it well. Castillo looking for an option, but couldn't quite get it to work. Throw in, though, for Hybrid. Cornel. Nisi. And that's just going to go, oh, it won't go out of play. It's a really nice bit of work right there before eventually Butler able to recover. Made the initial mistake and not be able to get rid of it, but eventually able to fend off Chirino and win the ball. And now good opportunity here. Anunku looking for options. Passes it off. Oh, and it was a struggle to get back on side there. And Gantha was looking for options. On the far side, his man was offside, and eventually the ball just well ahead of everyone. There were options there. If he dribbled at it and gotten by someone, he would have been in acres of space, but in the end opted for the pass. It didn't quite work out. Simmons, his ball forward goes out of play. Throw in for BridgeSports. And so, long ball forward. Estrada, and that's going to be retrievable. Encore. Oh, and that's going to be knocked over. Good tracking back there by Sala. Kongor had the idea, didn't have the execution quite. So the corner now. '64th minute. Since that second goal, the game has lost a little bit of its sharpness. Just got a little bit choppier. Now Mook to take, scored a brilliant goal for the second, and that's going to be claimed loose in front and headed away eventually. Crow came out but couldn't get enough on it. Still in the box. Now the shot, it's a speculative effort, and it's just gone high. So Hybrid eventually able to clear their lines. Crow sends it long. Butler. That'll be sent forward. And Hughes had a step, but Sala got back well. Crow. Headed off by Castillo. And now ball sent forward. Tie up. Butler wins it. And Butler looked like he was fouled right there. But actually the foul is going to go for the play before that. No. It has gone for that play. Chirino, the guilty party. So, Estrada to take. Sun setting and the floodlights are on now. We're approaching midway through the second half. Not quite as high of a line here for Hybrid. Estrada goes long, though, towards Anunku. The header flicked on by Simmons, and Hughes will be the first one there, into the box. Sala, though, just clears it out. So now, Kongor. His pass off. Butler. Ooh, and it's a Travella cross. A really nice one, too, but it was cut out. Now Salvador, looking for options. The step nearly got there, but in the end, Gantha will clear. And it's a clever through ball, but offsides. Sideline not happy about that one for BridgeSports. And now they've won the ball back at the other end. Just playing around the back. Sent long. Cornel wins the tie-up. It's funny, we've barely had to talk at all about Sinera in the last few minutes. Hybrid haven't been able to really get a serious chance in this half. Now Salvador's pass. Eventually Simmons sends it out wide. Tie-up and good defending. Just force the ball back, and now it's intercepted by Hughes, and he has a step on Sala. Hughes with pace to burn. Into space. Sala coming back nicely. Hughes chops inside him. Hughes had options, and he shot, and it looked like that just trickled off the post. Oh, he had options there. You do kind of wonder whether he should have just passed it off once he chopped inside. You look right there. Can't see his team at the edge of the frame, but he is arriving, and that shot didn't miss by much. Now you see him at the end. Decent shot, but you do wonder whether he just passed it off. Might have been more effective because right there is virtually a 2-on-0. And the better angle probably was the angle that Ramos had, who was arriving late. A huge chance goes a-begging there. Still 2-0. Hybrid. The pressure coming. Crow goes long. In the wind, that's tricky. Ball bouncing slightly funnily. And now Estrada. Back to Sanera. Sanera under a bit of pressure, and he'll go long. Hughes giving chase again. Sala wins the ball. Kongor tried to keep it in, but couldn't quite get there. Still 2-0. Kongor's throw. Hughes. Sala got some help there from Castillo. And now he's lost the ball. Ball deflects. Oh, and that's going to be a heavy challenge right there. Sala not the happiest about it, but nothing you can do. So Narmouk to take. It's had some good deliveries tonight, including the goal for the 2-0. And now that'll be deflected. Still in play. Bouncing funnily again. And a heavy challenge. That will be a foul. Nisi draws it. The guilty party's in Gonto, and Nisi's still down. 70th minute now. Game's intensity still very high, but the chances of not becoming as thick and fast since the 2-0. Hybrid will be looking for a late push here to get back into this one. 2-0, as I say, is the most dangerous lead in soccer. Hybrid will be hoping to make that danger count in full tonight. For BridgeSports, they'll really like how they've played in the second half. That spell to open it up for the first 15 minutes or so, maybe first 10, was really good. And now header won by Estrada. He fell kind of awkwardly, but gets back up. And now an opportunity here. Salvador, good ball. He has an option arriving late in the shot. Oh, and that's blazed high. It was a really good ball, but at the end of the day, just not able to keep that down. There's another unfortunate moment as it looks like Castillo is down behind the play. Chance back there. Appeared it was for Rua. That was the best chance Hybrid have had this half. Just couldn't quite keep the shot down. So, thankfully, Nisi getting up appears okay, although a bit ginger. And now Sanera will take the goal kick. So Estrada. And Gonto. Back to Sanera. Sanera goes long. Long balls have been causing problems for Hybrid in the second half. Still loose. And eventually a tie-up. Johnson commits the foul. Of course, worth noting that there's now a Johnson on for both teams. James Johnson on for BridgeSports. Christian Johnson on for Hybrid. Christian Johnson, the guilty party there. Estrada will take. Estrada's diagonal. Oh, and that's a good ball. Oh, but it's offsides. Ramos was tight there. From my angle, he looked okay, but referee had a better one. Looking across and able to make the call there. Now, a good bit of work there to spread the ball out wide to the far side. The ball into the center. Chirino Good tracking back, though, and Hughes eventually gets the ball. Narmook, nice turn to get into some space. His ball through is a really good one. And, oh, the ball ahead, but it was just a little bit too far offsides. It's worth noting that we've had another change as well. Siddiqui Traore now into the game for Nunku, as that'll be sent long. Traore offsides there. Butler watches that one out. Ooh, and it looks like there's some contact to the face. Referee didn't see anything malign. It would be a throw in for Butler, but still hybrid player down. Now the referee will have to investigate. I have to say, with the injury stoppages, we're set for quite the chunk of stoppage time. So plenty of time left in this one for hybrid. Just looked like inadvertent contact. And in the meantime, BridgeSports are preparing a couple other changes. Hybrid also preparing a change. So Santos will enter the game. That's the end of Johnson's day. Meanwhile, on the other side, Emmanuel and Aka entering the game. Aka will replace Butler. Mayo will replace Narmook, the scorer of the second goal. So both goal scorers off now. And Hughes will also exit. He'll be replaced by Katoto Fury. So throw in coming here. And it'll go out of play. Corneal. Corneal's throw. Out of play again for yet another throw. So hybrid slowly inching up the pitch. Both sides have made extensive changes now. We'll see if those change the game for either one. Control, just not quite there, but yet another throw in for hybrid. Now it's trying to win the territorial battle. Corneal to take again. And that would just be hoiked out for yet another throw. Hybrid throw is now becoming the play at the moment. That one sent out by Oralesi. So Corneal. His throw. Oralesi had to clear that one kind of acrobatically under pressure. And now he's gone down clutching his face. And in the meantime, it looked like that went out of play for a corner. Unclear if it was a corner or a throw, but it was very close to that. Very close to that juncture of the pitch. Ultimately a throw in. Corneal to take again. Now Chirino under pressure, and he's drawn the foul. Emmanuel just a bit too handsy there on him, and this is a good opportunity now for hybrid. Free kick in a dangerous position late in this one. See who will take it. Looks like it'll be Corneal. Interestingly, wears number 10 but plays as a fullback. Let's see if he can get some of the creativity associated with that number here. Corneal's delivery, decent one, headed away. And now, coming the other way, this is a good idea. The shot, oh, and it's just a little bit too straightforward for Sonera there from... Ultimately, it was a good idea by Chirino, but from a just difficult distance. And now the turn, Emmanuel dispossessed. Now, tie up. And ultimately, that'll just be recovered. Sala. Simmons. Simmons' ball intercepted. Simmons gets it back. Simmons' pass forward. And that's still in play on the far side, but now it looks like it's gone out of play. Or there's a foul call. Unclear. There was contact there. Well, I'm not sure why you would have held it again when the player was sprinting forward. That would have seemed like an opportunity for advantage, so it must have gone out of play at some point. And it appears it will be brought back for a throw. Indeed, it will be. So now flicked on. Nisi couldn't get his head to it. Now coming towards the other side. Kongor, nice, good pass by him. Moving to the middle. Or Lacey, Ramos giving chase, and he's gotten onto the end of that one. His pass deflected off the back of the heel of Asala. And now Castillo. Castillo's ball, decent idea, and that's squibbed through the defender's legs. The pass off. And now the attempt at a cross, just not quite there. Castillo went down but didn't draw the foul. And here's a chance now for Ramos to try and run the defense. Holds up, and that's a good ball. But in the end, Crow had to come out. His defender left it for him, and for a second there, it looked like Crow might be in trouble, but he was able to get to the ball ahead of his opponent. And Sala, good ball. Chirino tried to let it run, but nobody there. So that's been recovered now. And now turnover again. Ngantho, one of the few starters left outside of this back line for BridgeSports. Sonera passes it across. And now that's a good idea by Emmanuel, but just too square. Emmanuel tried to win it back, but ooh, and that's a heavy challenge. Hybrid have won a free kick in a dangerous position again, this time about 30 yards out. Good territory for delivery. So 10 minutes to go here. Plus stoppage time. I have a feeling we might have a decent chunk of stoppage time due to the injury stoppages. So here comes the delivery. And that'll be flicked on. Now Chirino. The pass forward. And eventually cleared out. Now BridgeSports might have an opportunity here on the break. They've got numbers. And the pass, oh, that was a really good step there by Sala to get the deflection in. And now Sala eventually recovers. Castillo, pressure there. Turnover, ooh, and there's a foul. I have to say that did not look like there was too much in it, but might have just been an inadvertent tread on the heel. That looked like it might have happened there. So, a free kick now for Simmons. In the final 10 minutes, Hybrid looking for that push to get into this one. Castillo, his ball forward is a good one. And that's going to stay in play, moving into the box. The cross deflected, and that's out for a corner. It was a good play by Osman to get in a good cross. So corner coming here. Got another substitution. And Ruiz entering the game. We'll see who comes off. I heard them call off Nisi. Might be wrong about that, though. I don't see his number on there, so it must be him. Corner delivered in. Good delivery. Flicked on, and that's going to be a goal kick. It's a decent delivery, but nobody quite able to get the contact to turn that into a big chance. We remain at 2-0. Sun is very close to being done setting. So Sonera, Butler, he'll send that long. One back though by Hybrid. Now Kongor, nice turn to get him out of trouble. Still Kongor. Just retains possession and eventually gets it back. And now tackle at the edge of the box, nearly turned over, and now eventually it is turned over. Hybrid able to recover, but Castillo lost the ball. Another nice turn by Kongor, who's doing some really nice work in possession here, and he'll pass that off. Estrada, acrobatic header by Sala. Orlesi, his ball. And now Traore in a foot race, but Sala clears, but only so far. Ball still available. Emmanuel passes it off. Moving into the box now. The shot, and that's going to trickle in front. Crow couldn't quite get on it. It was still loose, but just goes wide. And you just see right here, shot looked almost a little bit bumpy. And it just was trickling there. Crow couldn't get on it, but it just was too wide. We remain at 2-0. So 84th minute now. Goal kick taken to the far side. And just Osman not quite able to save it. BridgeSports win the ball back. I think they're in game management mode now. Up to approaching the final 5 minutes. Pass across. And that's going to be a potentially loose one. Estrada had to just hook it. Still in play, though. And it stayed in. And now the pass forward intercepted. But one back by BridgeSports, and the ball in front. And Traore has room to run here. Actually, that's going to be taken off by Piers Ramos. Cutting inside in the box. His shot, and it's a good save by Crow. Good kick save. A really good chance for 3-0, but Crow with yet another big stop. He's been great today. So, big opportunity there for BridgeSports to try and kill the game off, but Hybrids still have a bit of life. That's getting late. Be spread wide there. Sent long by Sonera. Kongor couldn't quite get his touch. So, throw in for Hybrid. That'll be one. Kongor heads it off. Gantho. Now it's a clever ball out wide. And now a clever ball in front, and it's offsides. So a little bit too much on that one, and Traore was offsides. So Simmons, Castillo, out of the far side. Receives the ball back. He's under pressure and goes back to Crow. Crow's been great today. Crow. Salvador dispossessed. Ball will stay with Hybrid though after that goes out of play. 86th minute now. Time running down. Game feels a little bit stuck in a state of tension, but no huge chances other than the big one a couple minutes ago for BridgeSport. Ooh, and that was a high and heavy challenge, it looked like. We'll see who's the guilty party there. And just a bit of a bizarre one. Oh, just a bizarre collision right there. I don't think there's any real malice in that from either side, but just heavy and a bit avoidable and sloppy. So another injury. Thankfully, the BridgeSports player, Emmanuel, is up on his feet and looks to be okay. Oh, that can't have felt good at all. And now it's a free kick for BridgeSports. Up 2-0, looking to kill this game. They played really well in the second half. And now the bench having words with the referee. It's a yellow card for the bench. Clearly unhappy with the decision there at the challenge. Presumably would have wanted a card. They do have the free kick, though. So, a Song Aka to take. Another sub who's entered the game. Aka. It's a good ball, really good ball. Oh, and another offsides. Couldn't quite connect with the teammate, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway as the offsides flag was up. So in the 88th minute, it's now or never for Hybrid FC. Crow. Will be flicked on. Header wrung by Aka. Nganto under pressure. Passes it back. Estrada. Estrada. Goes long. Clever idea, but won by Hybrid. Might be some time here still to fashion a few big chances, but now that ball's coming back the other way, and Kongor is in dangerous position. His ball, though, just too square, and Crow will claim. Crow looking for options. Crow is really impressed today, and now it's going to be Simmons, the captain, out to the far side. Ball deflected out of play for a throw-in. So the throw. Aimed forward, now flicked on. Ooh, and a heavy collision right there. Foul presumably going to go against Hybrid, and now there's a bit of a scuffle. Don't want to see that. You would imagine there would be a couple cards coming here. The initial play was probably not ill-intended, but definitely a sloppy and clumsy challenge, which is pretty needless, and tempers flaring for a second right there. Thankfully, things break up quickly. So this one's almost done now. Presume you'll have a few more minutes due to stoppage time, but at the end of the day, it's been a very good job of game management here by BridgeSports after going up 2-0. They've had the bigger chances since then, could have made it 3. They've also just managed well. Now we're seeing the yellow card awarded. Hybrid haven't really had any big chances of their own. It looked solid enough. They've been effective and have not looked like they've been steamrolled by any stretch, but at the end of the day, it's been BridgeSports who have created the vast majority of the dangerous chances. Hybrid haven't really been able to create much of their own. They've certainly held their own in the exchanges throughout the pitch. And now another bit of pushing and shoving. Look like everything had calmed down, and now BridgeSports bench wants something. We'll see what they want. Called "Let's Go, Bridge." So Snare to take the free kick at the end of all that. He's been good in possession, but hasn't had to play too big of a role here in the second half. He'll go long. That'll bounce. And now, eventually, one back by Hybrid. And now, for a second there, like turned into trouble and completely out of play for a throw-in. So Nganto passes it back to Estrada. Send that across. Nice move to get away from pressure there for a little bit. And now the foul comes. Game just getting a little bit scrappy. Fouls breaking it up. feels like it's lost its rhythm. That'll suit BridgeSport just fine. BridgeSports look to be headed for their 4th win of the season. For Hybrid, not quite what they will want. And now the ball in towards the corner. Imagine they'll just try to hold it there. Still trying to take it in, though. The cross is a good one. Just a little bit too long, and Kongor couldn't quite bring it down. Into the 3rd minute of stoppage time now. You'd imagine we maybe have a couple more left. Maybe less. I doubt there's more. So Crow to take. Crow's been really impressive today. 18 years old, making his 4th start this season, and he has been outstanding. He's had a few huge saves. Now the pass forward, and Cornel just got clattered. Lines put his flag up, but no foul called in the end. Kongor, clever ball, intercepted by Sala. Castillo, Cornel, and that's going to be the end of the game. So, an interesting matchup, ends 2-0 for BridgeSports. An impressive victory for them, coming on the road against Hybrid. And BridgeSports got a goal through a penalty in the first half by Nunku, and in the second half off of a free kick. And certainly that second goal was really a work of art right there. It was one of those that I think, when you look back on it, really not much that could have been done to stop Martin Armouk's shot by Crow, but Crow was outstanding for most of the game for Hybrid. And at the end of the day, BridgeSports had a few other big chances too, and Armouk hit the post. Anuku had several big chances, including being denied a couple of times in dramatic fashion by Crow. There were some other good chances as well for the team where they just couldn't quite get the shot on target, either due to missed cross or other events. For Hybrid, they didn't have as many big chances, although in the actual individual duels throughout the pitch, they looked solid, and their strategy of playing a high line and trying to force BridgeSports into hitting long balls over the top, well, it did lead to several dangerous chances in the first half. They held it off pretty well when they could stop the long ball, and it's starting to be positives for them to take. They looked solid in the exchanges, were able to force turnovers, prevented BridgeSports from being too creative in their own half in the first half, and at the end of the day, for a team in their first season, there is still a lot to like and build on. But so ultimately at the end, it finishes 2-0, an impressive win for BridgeSports, particularly with a really impressive spurt of play at the start of the second half where they looked incredible. And the final score here in Columbia will be BridgeSports 2 versus Hybrid 0.